So shake the cold from your doors and I'll let the East Coast walk you home. So shake the cold from your eye, if it all and let it fall. Cause it takes a lot to make our art home to your love, and it takes a lot to love your own. But I didn't even get your name when you walked on by. But I heard you could rise, so you were well in mine. Hoping you would stop so I could ask you these simple things like, do you love the ocean, and well, could you love the ocean with me? Cause I'll be yours, no, cause I'll be yours, cause I'll be yours, my love, my love. Cause I'll be yours, cause I'll be yours, cause these are the simple things that I want you. Cause these are the simple things, my love, my love. So shake the cold from your toes and let the East Coast walk you home. So shake the cold from your eye, if it all and let it fall.
Hello,
Hello,
welcome to My String of Purls.
this is episode 7.
And we are coming to you from a small town in the Okanagan of British Columbia. My name is Mioka,
My name is Linda,
and Linda's my mom.
and Miyoka's my daughter.
We figured out Zoom.
Yay!
Yay. Stay
Took a
tuned
bit, but
to the end of the episode where you can see all our technological difficulties and maybe get a giggle out of it, because we sure did.
yes.
If we are looking side to side on the screen, that's just because we are side to side for each other and trying to look back and forth at what we look like and what mom looks like and whatnot. So yeah,
Having interaction on screen.
exactly. And then we'll
Mhm.
try our best not to talk over each other, because I know that the microphone can kind of cut out sometimes if we're both talking.
And we can do that really easily.
Definitely.
So where can we find you, Miyoka?
I am on Ravelry as My String of Purls, and I'm also on Instagram. So my previous Instagram handle that I put up in the previous videos, that is my private one, and I've had a tough time deciding whether or not to keep that private, and I have decided to do so. And so there is a new Instagram called My.String of Purls, where you can join along, and we're going to be posting and videoing and a little bit more up to date on different things. And if you have previously followed me on my other account, I will have somehow transferred you over or followed you, and just trying to keep that a little bit private, because it's a difficult navigation in the world of online and privacy, and keeping some of it private, I guess.
Private. Mhm.
Where are you?
You can find me on Instagram at Linda Pearl Pearls, because my middle name is Pearl. And you can find me on Ravelry at L Pearl. So you might not see too much there. I'm working on getting more on Ravelry, but you'll see me on Instagram. And come join me and ask. My site is private as well on Instagram, but you can ask if you can join.
Welcome back to any of our returning viewers.
Yes.
And welcome to any new viewers. Really happy that you have found us on our little corner of the internet, especially in the time that we're in right now. There is a lot of extra idle time for some of us, and I have found a lot of new podcasts. And so if you are finding us because of that, thank you. And stick around towards the end of the episode after all the knitting content, where we'll talk a little bit more about day-to-day life and what we've been up to keep busy during all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We all need to be doing something. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we have been doing a lot of things. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more at the end. Are you ready?
Yep. What am I wearing, you're asking?
Yeah.
I am wearing a scarf, a linen scarf that I have made quite some time ago. And it is called the Pentoboscot Silk Lace Scarf. And you can find it on Ravelry.
Yeah.
And I have it in paper version. I went to visit my mom in Arizona quite a few years ago, and we went to a yarn shop, and she got some yarn and I got some yarn, and this was what I got. It's just a really light, loose lace, which don't look too close because it was probably my first attempt at lace, but it's really nice and light for summer, and it's just linen, and it's so soft. And I enjoy it because I like the brightness of the color in it. So
Yeah, you've worn that one quite a bit.
I have. Since I made it, I've been wearing it every summer. I don't wear it in the winter so much because it's more of a summery kind of garment or accessory. So yeah, that's one thing I've got. That's what I'm wearing.
Awesome. I'm not wearing any knits today. I did have a sweater on, but I just got too warm, and yeah, I took it off. So I'm just wearing my good old navy.
Cozy stuff. Yeah.
And I do have a finished object.
You do. Share it. Yay. Woohoo. Look at that.
Can you see?
I have seen the recipient wear this and model it.
Yeah. So if you followed along, I've already got yarn in my eye. If you followed along, this is the Ranger cardigan by Jared Flood, and it is knit in Brooklyn tweed shelter in the colorway soot.
Mm-hmm.
11 skeins down to like the 4-inch remainder. Like that was.
Ooh, that's a close one.
Yeah, I mean, I had 12 skeins there, but this was a labor of love.
Mm-hmm. You worked hard on that, girl.
Very hard on it, and I still have calluses on my fingers because it was quite rough when you're knitting with it.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, but I am very happy with it. I feel like after I've blocked it, it might be a little bit too long.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing in the shot.
He's a pretty tall guy. It should be okay.
He put it on, and I just, it's a bit too long. But he's like, no, it's perfect, because he puts his arms up and it doesn't pull up on his waistline there. So I blocked it, and honestly, shelter, this is the second time I've knit with it, and it always surprises me because it's quite a rough yarn while you're knitting with it. Like I said, I have a bit of a callus and dry finger, and after you block it, it just the weight of the fabric changes, the texture, the softness. Like, I haven't showed this to you, Mom, since it's been blocked, obviously, but yeah, I'm really happy with it. His idea is that he's going to be wearing it around a campfire. I don't know about that. I said, this is like we're going out for dinner and like casual. We'll see. So
going for walks.
These buttons are a metal button, and we got them out of Mom's stash. And yeah, I will link in my Ravelry page we'll have quite a bit of information about my not modifications, but like tips and tricks of how you do different things. Just on the raglan, you want to slip every stitch before the raglan detail there. I think I talked about before, the sleeve increases, how to keep your stitch pattern properly, because it goes up like that. And then the button band, Mom actually sent me a link of where to find some information on how to knit the button band, and it was quite hilarious. So I'll link that in there. I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy that it's done, and so is he.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just need to get some finished photos on him. It was still kind of damp the other day when I wanted to do it, so we couldn't do that. And yeah, it's done. I don't think you'll be seeing me knitting a sweater for my husband again for a very long time. Not that I don't love him, but yeah.
He's very appreciative.
Yes.
You can see he's got a big grin on his face when he's wearing it. And
Yeah.
of course, I had to admire it. And
Yeah.
you know,
Mom and Dad
we do
just
see
down
each other
the
from time
road,
to time.
and I finished it, and he said, "We should go for a." I have to be careful how loud I say it. Go for a walk. The dog's over there. And I said, "Yeah, sure." He said, "Can I wear my sweater?" I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Hey, yeah, let's just go around your mom and dad's place, and we'll ring the doorbell and show it off."
And
Okay.
he did.
He did.
I had to pet his sweater
Yeah.
and
It
check
was,
it out. He
yeah.
thought that was pretty
Yeah.
nice.
And then, yeah, and he wore it like 2 or 3 nights in a row, just kind of at home.
Oh.
And I said, "Okay, you have to take it off so I can block it and get it ready so you can actually wear it all the time." So Ginger is done.
Yay!
I honestly, despite the amount of time that it took, I would definitely knit that again. And I know that this would be a nice one for Dad, even though he says he wouldn't really want a knit sweater.
I don't know if he would look after it as well as
Well,
a
that's
knit
the thing.
sweater
He's
should
not allowed
be.
to watch this himself.
Yep.
Yeah, that's okay.
Good.
That is my only finished object because I wanted this done.
Good job.
Thank you.
Moving on, girl.
Yeah.
Yay.
Did
Well,
you?
I have an FO. Do you want to see it?
I do.
Okay. I showed this partway being done last time. It's called the Northern, what is it called?
Harvest cowl.
Northern Harvest Cowl. I put it over my head, but it's really warm, and we do not need warm right now around the neck.
No.
So this is from Custom Woolen Mill. It's a dye club from last year. And each of these colors that you see in here all have been dyed with natural fauna and flora. So we've got marigold. I know that one's marigold. And then we have bindweed. I think this is bindweed. And tansy. I think this one's tansy. And willow. Willow's down here. And then dandelion. This one's dandelion.
And this is
So
all stuff that you collected yourself and dyed
yes,
yarn
and
that
cooked it.
Yeah.
I think I have a picture. You could probably put it in of me with this in the pot cooking up this vegetation and then letting it sit and then straining it and then putting your yarn in there and cooking it some more. And
I remember
I think
coming to your house and the house just smelled like cooking compost. Like it wasn't pleasant at all.
Not very pleasant. I now have power in my greenhouse, which is my she shed for the occasion of isolation. But
did you dye the dark too? No, that was
no. The dark came like that. That's the natural color of the sheep. That color.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I will be using this next year when I go for walks and skiing. When it's so wintry and cold, I don't think that any wind will come through this. So I'm looking forward to using that. And I still have a lot of yarn left to add to something else.
Like a hat or a colorwork mitten or something like that.
Yeah, I've got some other yarn from Woolen Mill, and I might make a sweater, like a colorwork sweater, but it's way too warm.
Because that's the same wool that I've knit Matt's old-fashioned work socks out of. Right?
Yes, yes.
I do have some of that still because you guys brought some back last time you went.
I'm pretty sure it's the same, but I don't know if it's exactly the same. It is a rough yarn.
But it's definitely the same as the Brooklyn Tweed. It softens quite a bit with wear and blocking. It really needs like that good 10-15 minute soak with some wool wash.
Yes.
Warm water, and it works really nice. His socks are really nice now.
Yeah. Oh, I have to tell you a little something. You hear some noise in the background. Put my husband to work and taking down this nasty cedar hedge. And he is using the tractor and all that stuff to knock it down, the chainsaw and all that stuff. So if you hear some noise in the background, that's him. It's keeping him busy. Yay. So excuse the noise. Can't hear it?
No.
Oh, okay. That's good. You may in the future. We'll see. Hopefully not. Okay. So do we have any other FOs? No, oh, yes, I do.
Yeah,
I just want
I
to,
don't have it with me.
no, I've
So
got
I
enough.
showed it last time on the podcast. I was
Mm-hmm.
working on, sorry, I'm knitting. I was working on the Emmeline Tea by Little Tailor X.
Mm.
So I had cut it
Mm-hmm.
out, and I think I had it up to the stage of the neckline and the hem. And so
Yes,
I have a really old sewing machine. It's a Husqvarna 3000.
a good old girl.
It's good, but the type of material that I was using, it's just a little bit, what's the right word, Mom? Silky, soft. It's sheer.
Stretchy, yeah, and it moves around a little bit when you
Yeah,
sew
and
it.
the machine that I have, it just, I'm sure if I played with it enough, I could get it right, but it was kind of grabbing on the bottom, and I tried getting the pressure foot out of there, and it just, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not the pressure foot. What's the little grabby?
So Miyoka and I have seen each other a little bit here and there. It's more like drop off at each other's house and hi from a distance. So, because I have elderly parents that I'm really trying to keep healthy. So,
And my husband Matt is still working, so he's still
yeah,
seeing people.
yeah. So we're trying to be very careful.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Miyoka dropped off her T-shirt,
Yeah.
unfinished T-shirt,
Yeah.
and the pattern,
Mom
and so
offered to finish.
I finished it for her. Look at that. Look at these lovely. She did such a nice job on the sleeves. There's the neckline and a twin needle hem on the bottom.
Oh, it looks really good, Mom. Thank you.
Yeah, you'll be able to get lots of use out of this.
Yeah.
And this is her practice one.
So that was the really cheap fabric from Fabricland.
But it's so soft.
It's my practice, and that way if I messed it up, it didn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that looks great. Did you try it on?
Yeah, it's too big for me.
Yeah. Well, I did
But I'm
because I wanted it to be bigger. I like that oversized T-shirt. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'll drop that off with flour later.
Yeah.
I'll throw it at your doorstep. Okay, what else have we got going on, girl?
Well, aren't you
one thing I want.
A T-shirt?
Pardon me? Oh, yes. But one thing I want to just follow up on. I talked about making these little washcloths a while ago with spindle yarn. It's
bamboo.
What is it? I can't remember the name of the yarn. Anyways,
bamboo.
I have used it as a washcloth. It's soft when it's dry, but when it's hard, pardon me, when it's wet, it has more, it's not so soft. So it's good for exfoliating, but it would be nicer as a softer garment.
It's crunchy and scratchy?
It's just hard when it's wet, and it's soft when it's dry. So just so that you know, if you're looking for spindle yarn and what you want to use it for, not necessarily a washcloth, use it for a garment. I'm thinking of a bralette if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's something I might look into in the future. So with its yarn spindle.
Do you know, there's a couple different bralette patterns that I've seen recently that are quite cute.
Mm-hmm.
Tennis from Tennis Fiber Arts had one. I think it was.
I have one on my favorite.
I'll find it and send it to you.
I have one on my favorites on Ravelry too.
I can link
but
it.
I have to wait till the store opens again before I can go get more yarn.
I have.
Oh dear, more shopping.
That was a gift.
Pardon me?
I think I have some of that from my last fiber share, that soft pink color.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, and so moving on from the Emmeline Tea of yours, I'm going to use that same pattern, and I'm going to do some variations with it. I want to make a couple of T-shirts, one with just white. I'm going to give it a try out with just white.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have enough for the sleeves, but the sleeves might be different, and they have a raglan in the pattern as well.
The nice thing about that pattern is it gives you 3 different versions. So version 1 was what I did. It's really easy to adapt length to it. So I did a longer, I think I added 2 inches length.
Yes.
Just because when I'm working, I don't want my waistline to show, I guess you could say. My arms are up a lot. And then I did a small neckline rather than the large. And so it's version 1. Version 2 has a kind of like a baseball tee style. I'm going to hold it up again. Yeah. And then version 3 is actually sleeveless. So I've seen the sleeveless one done in a really nice linen before.
Ooh, that would be
Gives
nice.
you two different instructions, one for a knit and one for a woven of whatever
Mhm.
pattern you're using. So it's a really great pattern. I'm really happy with the instruction, especially for someone like the last thing I sewed was my pajama bottoms in high school. And
Wow, that long ago.
yeah,
That's probably why I've been doing some of your sewing from time to time. Anyways, I'm going to carry on and show you what I'm going to be using to make a t-shirt dress. So
yes,
I've got this fabric, which should be really nice and comfortable. It's light, it's knit as well, and that would be really nice for summer, I think.
yeah, yeah.
So that's another fabric that I have. And then one more, which is a color that I really like, and it's also a knit, and I'll be making another t-shirt dress with this. So I'll just extend the length of the pattern to make it long enough.
Yeah, there
So
was in the middle there, it says increase or decrease length here.
yeah,
So
you know, yeah.
um, when did you get that fabric? Did you order it?
I got it last year after I finished a different project thinking, oh yeah, that didn't take very long. I just carry on. Didn't happen then. So like, got the time now, might as well.
Yeah,
And I've got a nice pattern to use too. So that's even better.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'll tackle my other t-shirts in a bit. Just gonna.
Mm-hmm.
I've been busy.
Yeah, it'll come.
Yeah.
I should give you your pattern back to do that, shouldn't
Well,
I?
when you're done, it's fine. Even you can just give me back the cutout part that I cut out
Mhm.
for my size because I still have
Okay.
the PDF version on my phone to read the instructions.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay. Do you have any whips?
Ooh, I sure do.
Okay. Show me what you got, girl.
See, I'll finish a row, but that doesn't really make sense. So I was really anxious to cast on something new and something with color. And don't laugh because this is not super colorful, but oh, I dropped everything. Hang on. I dropped my bag. So I really rushed to get, not rushed, but I worked really hard to get Matt's sweater done so that I could do something else. And in my mind, I was thinking something quick gratification, right? Like get this, a hat or a baby garment or something like that, quick and done, because that sweater was just forever what it felt like. But I didn't.
Well,
So
what did
I
you
am
do?
doing the City Limit sweater by Tanis. I can't pronounce her last name, so I'll put it on the screen. She's Tanis from Tanis Fiber Arts. And a couple weeks ago, she released this pattern for free for a week. So if you're lucky enough to snag it like we did, that's fantastic. And her patterns are just, this is the first one I've knit. I'm really, really impressed with it. So this is my City Limits. So you can see the top there, and it's got a little bit of a fade down, and it's got this lovely raglan detail. The way that she designs the pattern is you can wear it right side out like this here, or you can wear it inside out just like the Weekender was.
Wow, reversible. That's
Reversible.
great.
So you have your garter stitch on the inside, and then it's kind of hard to tell on my needles here because they're scrunched up. But you can really see that detail of the raglan,
Mm-hmm.
just two purl stitches down the side.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been, oh, I'm losing stitches. There we go. This has been a fantastic stash buster. I really wanted to purchase her kits that she had available, but I'm not working right now and it just didn't seem feasible to me to spend that much money on yarn. And I have a wonderful stash. And so I had the pattern, and the way that she describes everything, it's really easy to be able to do a 4-color fade, a 5-color fade, a 6-color fade. It doesn't even have to be a fade, it's just the way that it works, right? So your first color, you hold 2 strands of fingering, and then you have the option, sorry, the cat's there. The option to, so 2 strands of fingering and the option to hold a mohair as well, which I've done. And so you hold 2 strands of fingering of your first color yarn, which is here. So this was a gift from Australia. in
Beautiful.
a fiber share package. And I think it's just a cute little shop kind of, oops, sorry. Little wood, like coral and
Oh.
it's gonna be backwards. That's all that was on it. Just this teeny little ball band. So you first color, you hold 2 strands of this, and I used a kind of a gray mohair that I used up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get down to your next color, and you hold one of this, and your mohair, and you can see I actually had a bit of a blue mohair with that one.
Oh, lovely.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
And then I ran out of the blue mohair. Like I said, I'm using up stuff to the end. And then you hold 2 strands of this color. So this is my middle colorway. So I just got into that.
Wow.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
1 to my head, 2, 3. Oh,
And one popped off. The mohair really changes the color of the yarn.
so there's my total.
Wow.
So if you are planning on making this, like I said, the pattern, the mathematics and the pattern really help you how to add how many colors you like, how many stripe variations there will be, how
Mm-hmm.
many inches per stripe, how many stitches per inch, how many rows per inch, et cetera, et cetera. Like my head hurt. And I had,
A morning job.
I don't do math. I had several different variations put together for a yarn, and I had quite a bright ending to it, but I knew I wouldn't wear it as much. So like I said, I'm adding some color into my life, but it's not dressed.
Not bright.
So your first color and your last color you use less of, because you only have 2 stripe variations, whereas these 2 middle colors you use quite a bit more of. So I have 2 skeins of this one already. This was a gift from my mother-in-law at my bridal shower. This one I had in my stash because I made socks out of it in the past. So these are the Coffee Talk socks.
Nice.
And I knew I wouldn't have enough. But I had bought this yarn from a yarn shop in Armstrong a couple of years ago, just a skein of it. I think it's called Tuco Toucan or something like that. I really liked it and I wanted socks. But just the way that it faded together with everything. Actually, I have my swatch here. Look at that.
Oh, yes.
The way that it faded together. This is holding that white mohair the whole way. And of course, I have now changed that with my mohair colors. And there's yarn all over the floor. So, I mean, a little bit of a variation for sure. So I've never done this before, but I knew that you could. If you are looking for a yarn, Ravelry, if you go into Ravelry, you can go into like yarn search or whatever, you type your yarn in, and then it says X amount of people have this in their stash. So then you can click through that, and there's a filter at the top of that that says for sale or trade. So I went into Ravelry and I found that yarn because I couldn't find it. Sorry, I have to get this yarn because the cat's trying to play with it.
Disaster.
Yeah. So I did that, and I found 2 different ladies that had I wasn't too concerned with the color dye lot because it's a faded one and it's halfway across the living room, so I can't go get it. So I wasn't too concerned about that, but I did want another skein of it. I could have fudged it if I wanted to, but I found a lady in the States and she was selling her skein for $10. And then with the US postage or whatever, it worked out to be really reasonable. So it's on it to me now. And I just messaged her on Ravelry, and it's really cool to see people that are selling their stash, sweater quantities, you name it. And if you're really in a pinch for yarn, do that. And I've even talked to a couple different people since I've done that, and they said that they've even spoken to someone who has a skein in their stash that maybe isn't for sale or trade, and just messaged them and said, hey, are you interested? Are you using that? Do you even have a little bit left? Because sometimes all you need is a couple, skein or not even a full skein, right? So just something to
Mhm.
think about if you are in a pinch. Like I said, I wasn't, but I was kind of set on the colorway that I had chosen. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, so I'm excited, and it's flying. This yarn,
It's going to be a really nice dense fabric for you to wear. It'll be so cozy.
yeah. So now I'm holding my dark mohair with it, and I have a little bit of light mohair for when I get down into that lighter bit again.
Well, you need to save some for the sleeves too.
Yeah, so that's another thing I was keeping in mind too is my sleeves. So
Mhm.
sleeves, and then if you are, there's a couple different options for your neckline
Oh.
and the hem. You can do
Mhm.
I-cord finish, which is what I plan on doing. So I have that yarn somewhere to do this part in the I-cord.
Mhm.
And then your sleeves, you will need whatever is at your end for your sleeves, and then your bottom as well. So
Now, is this a cardigan or is it a pullover?
it's a pullover. It's a,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's a,
So no button band.
no, no, it's all in the round. And
Good.
it's honestly knitting, purling two at your raglan, make one right, make one left, and go. It's fast.
Good.
Yeah, and
And your hands like it?
yeah, so much.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
I have to keep putting cream on, or else the yarn catches on me. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm really excited to see it knit up, and I was kind of hesitant about the mohair after it was in there because you can really see the color that it puts out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because the bottom is going to be so blue.
It'll go good. I
Yeah.
think I like to have light and then go into the darker
Yeah.
colors. I like that look.
Lighter, it goes dark for the middle, and then it's going to lighten up again near the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Good girl.
I did
Is
it.
that,
And
do you have,
highly recommend the pattern, like I said, because it's a great stash buster. I'm just, yeah, any mohair that I had left over, even I think the one I had like maybe 4 rows of it, and I just threw it in
mm-hmm.
there because what else are you going to use it for, right? So highly recommend.
Yeah, it feels good to use up yarn that you've had for a while. I like that
Yeah,
anyways.
it really does. And
Yeah.
it's just so adaptable to what you have, right? If you could do 3 colors, you could do 8 colors, you could do whatever. You could just do your colors until you're done. You just, yeah, it's fun. It's a really cool pattern.
Nice. Nice. Good for you, girl.
Yeah.
Well, I have a couple of whips to show. You have seen, viewers who have watched our podcast in the past have seen my socks. They're going forward a little bit more. They're just my vanilla socks, and I do 2 at a time with 4 needles each. And they're coming along really good. Um, I actually I was doing an experiment, as some of you know, and doing one sock with my double points and one sock with my circular needles. And I found that the circular needles were too tight. So I ripped that one out and went with this. So that's why it's taking me longer to do it. But maybe next time we podcast, they may be at the toe or finished. I don't know.
I didn't
But
realize you had ripped out the other one and redid it.
yes, we did it. I frogged it right back from to the cuff, right from the beginning. That's the one that we're on the circular needles because it was too tight. And I thought, this is not going to be very comfortable. So
For you?
I think so. I have lots of socks, so I don't know exactly who will get these or if I'll keep them. But I love the colors. And this yarn was a nice gift from Amanda from Sweet Skein of Mine. And you can see
Yes.
if it shows up that there's a nice little fleck of blue into the fabric or into the yarn that shows off the blue really nicely. So those,
Just the blue was from her, right? The other one was
just the blue, yeah. The other one was from the store.
yeah.
So those are coming along. Those are the ones that I take with me if I have to wait for anybody or sit in the car or mindless knitting, I guess, for now anyways. And I have another whip that you saw me start a while ago. It is the Suburban Wrap by Ohi Locatelli. And I am really enjoying this. A little bit of lace, a little bit of easygoing kind of stuff. I'll get it organized and hold it up for you. It's always crinkly when it's still on the needles.
Mm-hmm.
But here you go. So I've got the lace done at the very beginning, which was, you got to make sure your stitch count is just right, or else it doesn't look very good.
Can you come
So
closer to show the color a little bit better?
sure.
It's not showing up super great, but it's this beautiful kind of aqua teal. Yeah. What's the color name again?
I'll grab the bands.
Yeah.
And this one's called Polar, I think, the white. But let me grab them for you. They look really nice together.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice pattern to make. It doesn't have to fit. These are the colors here. And it's from Color Adventures. Let me show you the yarn band. Color Adventures from Twist of Yarn.
Yeah.
And one is called Aquatic. Another one is called Blue Topaz. And the other one is Polar.
Mm-hmm.
So that's at our local yarn shop.
Yeah.
In Vernon, a Twist of Yarn, which has donated.
Did you dye any of that specifically for you, or that was something different?
That was something different. I have some yarn that my niece had grown with her alpacas that she gave me, and I tried to dye it with some natural dye, and it's kind of dull. So I've given that to Camilla at Color Adventures, and she's going to dye it for me. So I'm not quite sure. I'm asking for a reddish color, but just going to see what happens. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
I just wanted to point out, it's really cool. Mom's in her craft room right now, her studio, her sewing
my
room,
studio.
everything.
Look at all the stuff.
And she says it's too messy for a craft room tour. Not today, obviously, but I really think that when we can see each other for a longer period of time, I'll do a bit of videoing, and you can take me through your craft room, because I think it's just really cool to see. That was actually my old room when I lived at home, hence the nice color brown in the back and the flowers on the wall. I don't mind it. It's good. It was blue before.
Yeah, it was really dark blue before. This is a nice color, and it's a big room, so I went from the small spare room into Mioka's old room, and so that is the spare room now. And I've kind of expanded in there too. But you know, a crafter, a creative person, you need a lot of space for a lot of products and pieces and inspiration.
Yeah.
So,
I think
and in this room there is sewing. I sew by myself, or I used to have a sewing business. I sew for a company, Crescent Moon Duvet and Pillow Company. It's an alpaca products. And I also, I'm a artist, fabric artist, so I've got all those supplies. And I also dabble in journaling and painting and that kind of drawing and things like that. So that's all stuffed into this room. And so it's very creative. Sometimes it gets really messy, but
the
that's
best part of it right now is she has her phone propped up in a shelf that has buttons in it, jars and jars of buttons. So
jars of buttons.
Yeah.
And lots of needles and pins and bias tape and zippers and everything in my little shelf here. So you're actually leaning against a little ironing tool.
Well, like I said, check out the papers at the end, because at one point I was on an olive oil container. Anyway,
yeah,
like I said, I really think it's something that we should look for in the future, to do a craft room tour. If anyone's interested, let us know. My craft room is still getting organized. We had moved everything out of it. I had moved everything out of it, and then we got it painted and everything. And so I'm slowly, you'll be so proud, as I'm moving things back in, I go through the tote or the bin or the box or the bag or whatever it is. And I have 2 boxes right at the front of my craft room door. I'm calling it my studio. One is garbage because some stuff just no one's ever going to want or just whatever. And the other one is donations. Actually, there's 3 donations for someone who would like to do crafting things, like might drop it off the high school or elementary school or something, daycare. And then the other one is like, I'm just going to drop it off at the thrift store because I guess mom's going to go through it at one point too.
As if I need some more stuff. But one thing right now, when the fabric stores and the craft stores are not open as much, I've been getting requests. Do you have any of this? And do you have any of that? And
From me?
I look at your buttons.
Oh,
So it's come in handy. And I've been using things that, pardon me?
I thought you meant someone else, but you meant from me.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
and I've been using buttons for other things as well. Yeah, and I've been doing some sewing too for, I guess I could share that now because they are finished objects.
That's one more whip.
You have one more whip?
Yeah.
Okay, show me your whip, sweetie.
We'll talk about what you made a little bit at the end if we want.
Okay.
A whip. So I started this 2 summers ago.
2?
2, I think.
You were a new knitter then?
Yeah, it was one of my first garments for myself that I started making, and it's called Mirage, and it's a Shibui knits pattern. I'm not too sure the designer. I'll put it on the bottom, but it's called the Mirage. So it's really nice. This is the back. It's a really nice tank top, and there's options for sleeves, and I think I put that in there as well. I don't know. This is a deep dive whip. It has moved with us. It has moved project bags. It has moved craft rooms. It has moved totes. It's been a little bit here, a little bit there. So it's a really nice pattern. So the bottom bit here is actually mohair. So see.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's just mohair. You knit your mohair piece, and then you knit a bit of your shirt fabric, I guess, and then you attach them together. You see that?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. You attach them together. So you have this sheer panel. It almost looks like you're wearing a shirt underneath at the bottom of your skirt. So this is the back, like I said. I've got it on hold up here at the top. And
what kind of yarn did you use for the top part?
This is Colored Ventures as well. This is, I want to say it's Raven. Is the colorway? Is it showing up good? There you go.
Yeah. Oh, that.
The dark gray.
It looks very light. Or is that because you've used a larger needle?
No, actually quite a small needle. I'm on US 4.
Oh, well, the fabric looks really light.
Yeah, it's really nice and drapey and sheer. So I have started and the only way that this kind of came back onto my needles was I was looking for mohair for my City Limits. And I knew I had a ball in this pattern bag that was either used up or not used up. So
yes.
Panel. Yeah.
So you won't need to use that for any more of that pattern?
So I have to do, I think it calls for 5 inches before I'm done. So I still have this, which mohair goes a long way.
It does.
And then I still have that other ball I showed that I had pulled out for my City Limits. So I want to get the mohair done on here so I know how much I can use on the other one.
Good plan.
And it's a really easy knit. I know why I chose it in the beginning. It's just pretty straightforward back and forth. So I'd like to get it done because I remember after I started, I showed the pattern to my mother-in-law, Jody, and she knit one.
Oh.
Really fast at knitting. So I'm excited because it's going to be a really nice, and the only thing is I think there was a skein of yarn at the front here or the back. And it's going to be a different skein, different colorway for the other side, but I'm not really too concerned about it. And it's sheer, but you can tell I wasn't a great knitter back then.
We all have to start somewhere, and you'll wear it.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to wear it. So a little deep.
Will you wear it with a tank top under it or something like that?
Even what I'm wearing right now has a tank top under it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
Good.
warm like some.
I used to be cool all the time, cold all the time, but I'm not anymore.
Yeah,
Things change.
yeah, exactly.
I'll change.
So yeah, that's all I really have that I'm working on right now. I feel like the City Limits is gonna fly. I can't quite go too much farther in that one until I know what mohair I'm gonna use in this one. So I'm just having
Mm-hmm.
fun with it. No other cast-ons on my radar yet,
Oh,
but
I
I do have some linen, a deep dark purple linen from Espastrico that was once a shawl, which I might show before I frog it. Um, that's going to become a t-shirt or something at one point.
mm-hmm.
Oh, it's
Mm,
kind of, I've been busy. Other ways of my life I've been busy.
mm-hmm. Yes, you have. I've got a couple of ideas that are in the development stages. I've got some yarn that is a friend gave me that she's a very basic knitter, and it's really bulky yarn. So
Mhm.
I've got a pattern. I don't know the name right now, but I've been looking at a pattern to make a really easy cardigan. That's a really, maybe not too cropped, but just one that really quickly throw on, that kind of idea. A little bit of a balloon sleeve. And sorry, I didn't look up the name of it, but I will share that in the future. And it's several different skeins of different colors. So
You can even
it could
share it with
be
me, and I'll put the link on the bottom again.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
And I've got some other yarns, natural colored yarns. I bought some sort of a corally orange to go with,
Yeah.
possibly make a shawl, but those are all things down the road. And now that spring is sort of here, we still have snow in some spots, like
Mm-hmm.
melt
We
already.
don't. We're good now. Or
There's
soon.
still some in the shady spots, so
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So
So
what have you been up to other than knitting? Because I know I'm enjoying knitting a lot. It's really helping me, but you can't knit all day, every day.
no, it's not good for you to do that either. So what I've been doing is I'm doing a puzzle when it's not nice enough to go outside, a puzzle with snow in it, a Christmas present from my lovely daughter there.
So the idea behind the puzzle was I have a puzzle that we have had since I was little. Mom was going
Mm-hmm.
to give it away or sell it at a garage sale, and I snagged it because we would do it every Christmas.
And I
Well,
got tired of doing it.
I got tired of doing it, and I said, no, I really like this puzzle. It's memories for me, and I'd like to continue doing it every Christmas. So I thought Mom needed a new puzzle. So I bought her a beautiful little cottage in the woods with snow and this and that and the other thing. I thought it was gorgeous. Thousand
It
Peaks,
is.
Ravensburg, whatever. But I didn't really look at the detail of the puzzle and how hard it would be. Sorry, Mom.
It's sitting out on my table, and as long as I don't lose any pieces, by the time I get it finished, I'm good. But it's coming along.
Yeah.
And I have different moments of enjoying it and walking by it. So
Mm-hmm.
there might be a little dust on it, but that's okay.
And it was
So,
intended to be done around Christmas time, like
yes.
the other one, not in the spring. But of course,
Yes. Well, I usually do a puzzle between Christmas and New Year's, and that's always a really nice time to just sort of slow down a little bit and regroup. So
yeah.
now I've been slowing down and regrouping, but maybe not slowing down, just regrouping. So I've got the puzzle going on. I cleaned up the greenhouse, washed windows, vacuumed it out, and now it is a she shed. Mine.
The greenhouse is made out of old windows and doors, and Dad made it for Mom. Well, to get you to take a picture and insert it.
Yeah, I will. And it will have some more plants growing in it again soon when the frost stops, because it's not insulated. So when we don't have frost anymore, I'll take those little baby plants out there, and they can hang out there until it gets really warm outside, and then out they go. And I won't be hanging out in there either because it gets really hot. So right now it's nice when it's this kind of weather. It's kind of cloudy and a little bit cool, but it warms up in there a little bit. So it's quite nice.
Yeah.
And we have happy hour out there.
That's awesome.
And it's just a nice getaway.
Either, does it?
Pardon me?
Doesn't matter what time of day either, does it?
No, it doesn't matter. And it's nice to just sort of get away from all the responsibilities inside and some of the stuff that's going on that you just rather leave alone for a while. So it's really nice. And my knitting goes out there. That's my sock knitting place.
So just a little bit of an update of what's happening for us here. I have personally been off for over a month now from work.
Mm-hmm.
No end in sight at the moment, unfortunately. Someone was saying end of May possibly to go back, but I think because I am a registered massage therapist, I'm very close contact with my clients and several clients in a day. I think I will be one of the last ones to go back to work. So yeah, just the Canadian government has provided us with a Canadian emergency response benefit, even for self-employed. So I've applied for that and received some
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. So there's help, and we're getting by. I think, but the hardest thing for us right now, other than being conscious about our finances, I mean, I can't go out and spend money, so that's a good thing, is just mental. Yeah, trying to get through the days. And it's hard because Matt is still working. And I've struggled with that a bit because I'm home all day by myself and I
You're
can't
not used to that.
know. I'm very much a homebody and I'm very much an introvert and enjoy my own time, but this has been really tough. And so, yeah, one thing I've struggled with a lot is I'm home by myself for the day. I will go out the odd time to get groceries. I've met a girlfriend for a hike here and there, social distance hike, and I'll FaceTime and call and text people throughout the day. But as soon as Matt walks through the door, I'm starved for human attention and interaction. And for him, his life hasn't really changed too much other than I'm home and able to make dinners and whatnot. So it's been an interesting transition for sure for us.
Mhm.
I'm done. I would give anything to go to work today. And yeah, just trying to stay busy mentally and physically as well. My hands have not stopped. We have put in some garden boxes and some rock. And there's been a local garden shop, unfortunately, that is closing down for good. So they opened up the season with a whole bunch of perennials at 50% off. And mom and dad were able to get some cedars. That's why they're
Yeah.
doing the hedge. We've got some boxwood and stuff. So I've been sharing some of that on my Instagram. And I'll put some pictures in and I'll probably have updates in our next podcast as well. But weeding, planting, growing, mom has seeds started. We have seeds started.
Yeah.
Just, I think we're going to have the nicest yards we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
The one day,
Everybody will.
oh yeah, I shoveled rock for a good part of the day for the garden, and my forearms were just so sore. I was trying to self massage all through my forearms. I couldn't even knit. My hands were falling asleep. I couldn't even knit. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that was, I mean, that's okay. But you only have so many days that you can be outside in the yard and garden doing this and doing that before you're like, okay, I'm bored. Like I don't want to weed anymore. I'm done with it. So
You're going to have a fantastic garden. Your flowers are going to be beautiful and your vegetables are going to taste
yeah,
delicious.
exactly.
Yeah, it'll be
The funny
good.
thing is, though, I'm putting all these different things in. We haven't been able to plant too much in the garden. Like mom said, there's still frost. But once we do go back to work, if it is in the next couple of months, I'm going to have a lot of maintenance to keep up around here.
And watering. Yes, yes, that's the
So,
thing.
yeah, and then we've had beautiful weather. It's been
Warmer.
like plus 26 in the front of our house in the sunshine last week.
Oh,
Cloud
boy.
day here today, but it's calling for plus 22 on Monday.
Yeah, it's going to get warm again. And then we get rain in between it. And oh, my goodness, everything starting to get green now.
Full and
The
green.
lilacs may be budding out pretty soon.
Yeah, I've got a couple of tulips that are ready to bulb or ready to bloom, and
Yes.
daffodil already.
We've had a few crocuses poking their heads up. So yay.
Nice.
We're usually late than a lot of other people, but we are still excited when it happens.
Especially being stuck inside, right? We've got all our patio furniture set up on our deck now, and we recently bought a used, new to us hot tub, so we're working on getting that. The pump needs to be replaced. We're going to have a hot tub soon, and I'll work outside in the garden every day and be able to soak in the hot tub at night. And yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
And
That's
I've
good.
been baking
What are you baking?
sourdough. So
I'm
a
looking
huge
forward to
shout
some.
out to Gaina from Tales from Cuckoo Land. She has a wonderful sourdough tutorial on her channel, and she's putting up daily vlogs right now. And I've reached out to her and connected with her on Instagram and developed quite a lovely relationship. So hi, Gaina. I'm really happy to say hi to you on here again, and Mom as well.
Yes, hi Dana.
You guys were talking about socks and stuff like that.
Yeah, yes.
And so she cooks and she does sourdough for her boys all the time. And I honestly have never had the desire to spend 2 days making a loaf of bread. I also have never had the time. And so, yeah, I messaged a friend and said, I think I'm ready to do it. She had some starter. She was on my doorstep with starter and recipes within an hour and a half ish. And a day later, I had sourdough. And I'll put a picture. I might have already put one in. It was massive.
Yes.
And yeah, we're starting to think I owned a bakery in my previous life because
Well,
yeah,
you probably got it in your genes
I think so.
genetically
So I
from
just
your
fed my
grandma.
starter again this morning, and I will prep the loaf this afternoon and bake it again tomorrow, and we'll have another loaf because I've been giving away bread. My cousin was working with Matt the last couple of days, so I sent him with a couple pieces of bread and yeah, sandwich bread because the loaf was so big.
Nice. That's very thoughtful of you too to share.
Yeah, what
Nice.
else are you gonna do, right?
Yeah, for
If it
sure.
took me 5 days to make a loaf of bread, I'd probably do it right now.
Yes, and a few other things. Oh, I've been helping my parents
Yeah.
getting their prescriptions and some groceries. And funny thing, I feel like I'm a bootlegger because I've been bootlegging wine for them.
Didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Yeah, the other day, can you get us some wine, please? So I just go to their house, well, their apartment, they're on the ground level, and I just go and put things on the patio and chat through the, social distancing and throw my hugs
Yeah.
and just encourage and that kind of stuff. So, and they're doing fine. They're Clem's in his late 70s and Mom's in her mid 80s. So they could be very susceptible to this virus. So we're being very careful to keep them safe.
Grandma does lots of sewing and quilting and, well, not necessarily sewing, but she does embroidery. And Mom showed her her bag that Grandma had done all the beautiful embroidery patches on.
Here it is. I've been using it too, Mom.
Yeah, so Grandma did all the embroidery on that with her fancy machine, and she loves doing it.
And this is just lovely.
Yeah, and then you put it together, didn't you?
Yes, she said she was going to embroider the squares, and then she said, and Linda, you can have them and you can put it together. And so I did, and that's where my suburban wrap is living right now.
Grandma's got her own studio in her house, and she keeps very busy with her.
And she has a new embroidery machine, and she's named it Emma.
Oh, really?
Did you know that? Yeah. And she's very, very excited. They're still getting acquainted. What have you got there?
I forgot to share. So I talked about this last time. I was hoping it'd come in, and it came in like the hour or two after we podcasted last time, which was funny.
Oh.
This is my acquisition. I have hair on it. This is Scrumptious Pearl in the Stripe Me Up colorway. So, or Stripe Me Up base. This is Come Sail Away.
Oh, lovely. Oh, that's beautiful.
Pretty. And this is Driftwood.
Oh, that's lovely too.
This is Samantha or Sam, handmade in Canada. I believe it comes from Toronto. And it is a self-striping sock. So I have been wanting some of this for a while. And I thought I got a little bit more different colors, but apparently not. From each
They all look different.
Yeah. And she has updates and whatnot. So it took a little bit, I believe it was dyed to order. It took a little bit for it to get here. But I'm really excited to do like a cast on of some socks. And also one thing I've kept in mind too is I want to say it's a sock sleeve sweater, something like that, where you take sock yarn and you knit your sleeves in the sock yarn, and then
Mhm.
just do a regular base for your body of your sweater. So I thought that would be kind of cool for something like this too.
It almost sounds like a Stephen West idea because he's got some vibrant
I'll have to
colors like
find
that.
it. I'll have to find it who did it. But yeah, I'm excited. I haven't cast this on yet. Maybe this will be my pop of color. I just don't wear
There you
socks
go.
very much in the
Just
summertime.
leave it out and admire it.
It's
It'll,
out in my studio. But yeah, I don't wear socks very often in the summertime. So to knit socks just seems kind of counterproductive for me at the point. So anyway.
yeah.
Mom and Dad recently celebrated their 43rd wedding anniversary.
Yes, we did. And my lovely daughter made us a delicious carrot cake
Yeah, I
for
got
us.
another one of those.
Oh man, it was good.
It became
And
carrot cake and coffee for a few mornings in a row.
it was delicious.
I had to go for a hike that day.
It didn't matter. It was delicious. It was so thoughtful too. Yeah, it was very nice.
One other thing, I'm just trying to find this here quick, but we've been talking about, or we talked about yesterday, to share our garden journals.
Oh yes, I've forgotten about that. And do you want to talk about your journal first, or should I talk about mine?
Well, sorry, I'm just trying to find that thing. So we bought our home in July of last year. We took possession in July last year, and we rented previous to this. This is our first home. And I've always wanted to take after what Mom has done and do a garden and yard journal. And so I started this just a few weeks ago, and I went back into 2019 and tried to, backwards on the screen, I'm sorry.
No, they'll see it straight.
Are you sure? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully you see it straight. So I went back in 2019 and just like we took possession of the house in July. We had incredible raspberry harvest. What we did, topsoil and turf and whatnot in the back. There was beautiful tall sunflowers. So just kind of keeping a record of what happened in our yard and what we've done, because we've done a lot of work, not even just renovations inside, but outside as well.
A lot.
And then keeping track of what I've done this year and planting and what I've started, what's popped up already. Cute little details. I shoveled rock all day. There's flowers popping up. Just having fun with it. And then, yeah, can you tell I'm bored?
Well, it's good to have that because you can go back in previous years to see what you did, what time of the year you planted it. It's kind of a guide that you can use.
And it's recommended to do the plot layout so that you put things in different places, different years.
Crop rotation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I said to Mom yesterday, can you pull out your garden journal and share yours? Because what was the first entry you put in that thing?
I'll read it for you. I actually even put an envelope in the front to put little bits in it. Glued it in. This is even before we bought our property. The Garden of 82 did well enough, but it was somewhat disappointing. It didn't do better. A couple of the elements were against it. Not enough sunlight, and the birch tree took a lot of moisture from the soil, blah, blah, blah. The preserving year of 82 has been very productive. I've managed to use up all my jars, including apple juice, and the freezer's full. Looks like we'll have lots of preserves for the winter. Sure is nice feeling to have so much stored away, especially when all the food was fresh when preserved and some even homegrown. What a plentiful land. Thank the Lord, Linda. That was my first. Wow, I haven't read that for a while.
82, right? You said 82? Yeah, that's cool. So then I remember looking back at it when I discovered, I don't know, years ago that Mom had this garden journal and preserves too. You have your canning in there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, I do. It tells you.
Born 1989.
Even my canning season. I don't know if you can see that. Canning season and what I bought and when. Yeah. Did I do that too quickly?
That's okay. Yeah, so I just thought that was really, really cool to share and show, and I'm excited to do mine too. Yeah, a little bit of Japanese flair.
Yeah,
I
this
have
was,
found a nicer book. I just had this in my journal. I have a bunch of blank journals. Whenever I see them, I like them. Ranunculus is one of my absolute, or is that a peony? No, that's a ranunculus. One of my absolute favorite flowers.
mm-hmm.
Maybe it is a
And
peony.
even things that that I've got written down in here, like non-slip stair treads. What do you do to do that? How do you accomplish that? We never had the internet back in the day, so these were all things that I could store in one place and use it as a resource to go back. That rehydration drink when you're
Yeah.
just not very well. Quotes. There's quotes in here of some interesting quotes. Earwig traps, potting soil recipes. You know, just all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And I've got the pages numbered and an index where I can go and find these things easier. And
Yeah.
even when I bought plants, that's the Burroughs tale that you have at your house. 2009. Should I go really close?
Really? That's from, oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
One
how
that
old that
grows
plant
and
is.
grows. It's 11 years old.
Yep.
Crazy.
So, but there's still blank pages. I don't write in it as much as I used to, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about full anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But something interesting, I did an online mini course about how to make books. So you take an old book and you take it apart. You take all the words out of it, like all the paper words,
Mm-hmm.
and you use other papers. I don't know how well this is going to be seen, but you take other papers in it and you add them all. I've got a tapioca starch bag. There's some fabric in here I could sew something in. This was an idea of someone said, draw what you ate for lunch, sort of an artist suggestion, and some other things. Oh, there was something in here that you guys would be interested in looking at. Now, you've got an interesting looking young man. And some other things. And you can journal in it. You can capture, put our more ideas in it. There's from my, what is it called? Dremel paper.
Mm-hmm.
Just interesting pages that I can write in and have some fun. Something that artwork that I've done. And just fun instead of papers just sitting around. And it's all been stitched in there together.
Cool.
And I did this funky, what is it called? Paint stuff that you smoosh all around. And I'm going to paint over top of that and put something on it. So maybe this will be my next journal. I don't know. Journal for gardening. But it was really fun to do. I really enjoyed it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
I think that was, why don't you show what you've been making?
Okay, I'll be out of the picture for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. And then I did it already. Where did I write it down? I'm
coming back. This is a quick change, but this is what I've been doing. I'm going to steam up my glasses here, but I've been making masks and skull caps for the local hospitals and care centers in our area. And this one's really neat because it has knitter at work, knit, sleep, eat, etc.
Yeah.
So knit therapy.
That's awesome.
So I've been doing that, making a few gowns just to help out the people that are in need of these things, because as we know, the resources are less and less as time goes by, but we're doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been working, I've made 55 skull caps and I don't know how many masks, and I've got 5 gowns to make, and then I'm going to stop. So it feels good to accomplish that. Mm-hmm. And we have one more thing to share with you, don't we,
I
Mia?
tried to find, because I did the random comment
Oh,
generator.
first of all, we're going to show
So
what we're doing.
we announced a giveaway on our last podcast. Just a thank you to everyone that has been commenting and liking and sharing, and it truly was really cool. So Mom made this beautiful project bag, notions pouch, and Camilla from A Twist of Yarn, which is our local yarn store here, was kind enough to donate and gift us a skein of Color Adventures in the Adventure colorway. Look at that, Merino Light. So we are both knitting with Color Adventures right now. I've used it quite a bit. It's dyed right in the basement of their antique house where the yarn shop is.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So the way that I did the generator was we had Mom's YouTube video and we had my YouTube video. So I just kind of did the numbers between the two, how many numbers there were of comments, because there was some comments on mine as well as Mom's from the same person. And I just did 1 to, I think there was 40 something comments in total between the two of them. It was 50, I can't remember. And I did numbers 1 to whatever, and I just did my podcast first because that was the first one that went up, not 1 to whatever, and then I added the ones from the other column of people who had not commented on mine, and I did a random number generator, which is really easy to do on YouTube or Facebook or whatever it was. Winner is Andrea Chenoweth, and she says, "Hello from Orlando, Florida. I just found your podcast last week and subscribed. You showed up as a recommendation podcast on YouTube. Stay safe." So our yes, thanks.
Congratulations, Andrea.
So our recommendations, or our not recommendations, our requirements for the giveaway were that you subscribe and like, and then comment where you are in the world, because we have people all over the place, and then just how you found us. So I haven't checked to see if Andrea subscribes to us or not, but that's okay because she took the time to comment and watch, and I believe she commented on both of them as well. So congratulations, Andrea. The best way for you to get a hold of us is to try and find me on Instagram or Ravelry. All the information was on the beginning there, and I'll put it up here again for you. Just
so we can get you.
Send me a message and we'll contact with you. I believe Florida is still accepting packages from Canada right now, because I know that some places are not. So if that's the case, we'll touch base with you. And if you prefer for us to wait till this is all over and it's safe for you to get out of your home to get the package or whatnot, we can always do it that way for you as well. So this is going to be a little party in your mailbox. Love from British Columbia, Canada.
My String of Pearls, Mioka and Linda.
Pearls. Yeah, show the inside of the bag where the tag is.
The bag.
Yeah.
It's just a plain fabric. Oh, that part you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks great.
My String of Pearls. And it's just a nice big open bag. We could probably fit, I don't know, 4 skeins in there. Easy.
Perfect.
So, yep. And you can put all your little notions in there and you're ready to go. And there's a little surprise in here too. Congratulations, Andrea.
So congratulations to the winner. And like I said, get in touch with us and we'll get that out to you as soon as we can. And thanks to everyone else that commented and all your lovely comments. It's so hard because when you're doing a number comment or whatnot, you can't reply to everybody because your reply counts as a comment. And so I just...
the learning curve.
Reply to anybody, but I'm going to go and do that now because there's so many lovely comments on there and questions about different things and whatnot. So I'm really, really touched by all of that. So
yes, and thank you very much for watching. And sorry that I was so boring last time. It's more fun interacting with my girl.
Yeah, I'm glad that we were able to figure this out here because it's harder to do for sure. Yes. So I think to end off, I just wanted to hope everyone is staying safe and healthy, and maybe where you are, this is coming to an end sooner than other places. Thank goodness for our craft of knitting, right? and for this platform to connect with each other, because I don't know, I feel pretty lonely and bored without it, that's for sure.
Yes, yes. And it's good to reach out to other people in social media ways and by phone, and just to touch base and say, hi, how are you doing? Thinking about you. And I think that really goes a long way, as we're just being by ourselves so much. And something that we've been thinking about doing is, on these sunny days anyways, is we want to get together with some new neighbors down the road. But we really can't get together. So we're thinking about inviting them to come and have a driveway visit, which is bring your lawn chair and your beverage, and we'll sit apart and have a visit.
Yeah.
I was by the park the other day, and I saw several ladies come in with their lawn chairs, and they went and sat out in the middle of the field and chatted away. And I thought, wow, that is very smart.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you can do is get together still without getting together, and just staying in touch, and show each other that you care, and we'll beat this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thanks again for tuning in.
And so here's big hugs for anybody who hasn't got any, and kisses.
Okay, I'll catch it. There we go. I got it. I don't know when we'll be back again. I definitely feel like I want to have knitting content to show when we're back on, although I feel the desire to get back on a little sooner than that. So we'll see. Maybe we'll just pop up a quick video of what we're up to, or maybe we'll get that craft room tour happening.
Oh, maybe. We'll have to do some cleanup, or it's stuff, material stuff.
Yeah.
And I pretty much know where everything is. So if you need anything, let me know.
Okay. Sounds good.
Linda's.
Say bye to everybody now.
Bye.
Later.
Stay safe,
Thanks
everyone.
again.
Love you.
And stay tuned for the bloopers, because I was crying laughing. Thanks again. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye. Take care. Happy knitting. How would you like to be on top of an olive container? Just you. Oh, goodness sakes.
This is why we started today.
I know. Never mind. Tomorrow I'll post. Just hang on, don't go away.
I'm just gonna sit here and knit, okay?
Go right ahead. What time does the dump open?
No idea. Don't move your phone for the whole night now.
Yeah, right. How's that stupid brightness? Try for 40 minutes.
What are you wearing?
This is the skull cap with a...
What is the color of the flower bag behind it? The color of a regular flower bag?
Yeah, yellow.
Okay.
Look at you go. Oh, that's terrible. What a mess.
Okay.
Well, because I was graining last time, I might have stayed graining again until COVID's over, and then I have a new face. It's all good.
Yeah.
Try out what we got going on here. And I have my ranunculus. Hi. I had my ranunculus.
So just don't move.